Erik ten Hag won't make it past Christmas at Manchester United this season because he hasn't got the chops, according to TalkSport presenter Simon Jordan. The Dutchman was under huge pressure during a crisis-hit campaign last season that saw his side suffer spells of woeful form as they went on to finish 8th in the Premier League. But he was given a stay of execution after winning the FA Cup, despite the club holding talks with Thomas Tuchel. New United chief Sir Jim Ratcliffe is conducting a radical overhaul of the club, with Omar Barreda installed as the new CEO, while Dan Ashworth has arrived as sporting director. They're going to alter the landscape and put some more support in, and Ratcliffe has said, "You can't judge a coach if the framework behind him isn't perfect," he said on his TalkSport show. Well, you can judge the coach for some of the things that come out of his mouth and some of the ridiculousness you have to listen to. And I get it, that when you're dealing with the media, you play a certain game and say certain things. But I don't think he's got the chops. Danny Murphy sat here last year and said, "There's no way Man United can play Bruno Fernandes and Christian Eriksen in the same midfield. People will go through them like a knife through butter." One thing Man United were last year was easy to play against. If you've got a very cute football observer sitting in the punditry observing this, the guy that's at the sharp end must be able to see the same thing. I don't think Ten Hag has the chops for it. I think it's a difficult job. He's a capable operator at a certain level, and I think Man United is a hugely difficult beast to tame. But that doesn't alter the parameters of that's what you're there to do. Jordan went on to say that winning the FA Cup was a get-out-of-jail card and didn't prove that he was a good enough manager for United. A tough season for Ten Hag saw him deal with off-the-field issues involving Mason Greenwood, Antony and Jadon Sancho before seeing his side dumped out of the Champions League at the group stage. He also oversaw some horror performances, including a 3-0 loss at home to Bournemouth and coming close to losing to Coventry in the FA Cup semi-finals. The former Ajax boss has attempted to rebuild with two key signings forward Joshua Zirkzee from Bayern and Lenny Yoro from Lille, though the young defender has dealt the Dutchman a huge blow with news he faces 3 months on the sidelines with injury. United have been on pre-season in the US and lost 3-0 to Liverpool in a friendly last time out, with Ten Hag now preparing for the Community Shield against rivals Man City on Saturday. Manchester United boss Ruben Amorim is urging Lenny Yoro to be more adventurous on the ball. Yoro is a new signing at Old Trafford after joining from Lille for around £52 million, but the Frenchman is yet to feature for United after suffering a long-term injury in pre-season. The teenager is back in training, but not fully fit for the team, though he has still managed to do some work with his new manager on the training ground to get him up to speed when he eventually returns to action. And as Amorim looks to lay out what he wants from his players, he recently pulled the teenager aside during a training session in which the 19-year-old was playing as a right-sided centre-back in the Portuguese's preferred 3 centre-back formation. As first reported by The Athletic, Amorim told Yoro to pull wide and be more open, take the ball, and you already know that they, the opponent, can't press from here behind. Yoro is widely seen as one of the most promising young defenders in the world and turned down a move to Real Madrid this summer in favour of joining the Red Devils. He is being tipped to play a major role for United due to his pace, strength and ball-playing ability, making him a natural fit for Amorim's back 3 in his regular 3-4-3 formation. Amorim was also seen speaking closely to Kobbie Mainoo in training, pulling him aside too for a personal chat, offering suggestions on how he wants the young Englishman to receive the ball in midfield. The problem is with the ball. I think we lose the ball too fast. We win the ball, we lose the ball, and you cannot press high all the time. With the ball, we can press better. So the focus this week also was in that part. If you don't lose the ball, you can push higher. If you are higher, you can press better. So it's like a snowball, everything is connected. Following the dismissal of Steve Cooper, former Manchester United interim head coach Ruud van Nistelrooy has swiftly emerged as the frontrunner for the Leicester City managerial position. On Sunday, Leicester announced Cooper's departure from the King Power Stadium after securing only 2 victories in his 12-game tenure, with the club choosing to move forward following Saturday's loss to Chelsea. The incoming manager will take over a team currently positioned 16th in the Premier League and without a win in 4 games. Van Nistelrooy, who recently enjoyed 2 triumphs over the Foxes during his temporary stint at the helm of United, is now tipped to replace Cooper. The Coventry City position, which remains vacant following the dismissal of Mark Robins, was one that Van Nistelrooy was reportedly considered for. Former Chelsea and Everton boss Frank Lampard was also in the frame for that role and now appears to be the front-runner to take charge at the CBS Arena. It's since been suggested that United legend Van Nistelrooy has been waiting for a chance to manage a top-flight team, with several managers, including those at Crystal Palace, Wolves and Southampton, under severe pressure. Therefore, it's likely that Van Nistelrooy will stay in England and aim to return to a full managerial role, making him a possible contender should City consider replacing Cooper with the Dutchman. Van Nistelrooy could reunite with United in March, with Leicester hosting the Reds on the 15th of that month. However, a return to former club Hamburger SV could also be on the table. According to Sky Sports Germany, Van Nistelrooy is on the list of possible replacements for Stefan Baumgart at the Bundesliga 2 club and has already been discussed internally. Following his departure from Old Trafford, Ruben Amorim has been appointed the club's new head coach. His first game in charge arrived this past Sunday with a 1-1 Premier League draw played out against Ipswich Town at Portman Road. Ruben Amorim admits Manchester United will have to suffer as they strive to master his favoured 3-4-3 formation. United drew 1-1 with Ipswich Town at Portman Road in Amorim's first match in charge and struggled to adjust to the Portuguese's demands as Andre Onana was called upon to make 3 impressive saves. Despite going 1-0 up through Marcus Rashford after 80 seconds, United failed to build on their advantage and Amorim admitted some United players got stuck. Amorim had to select right-back Noussair Mazraoui in the back 3 as centre-halves Harry Maguire, Victor Lindelof, Lisandro Martinez and Lenny Yoro were all absent. "It's hard to expect anything now," Amorim said. "It's not a surprise, but you have to see it in game. That's why I was a little bit anxious, because you cannot understand what will happen in the game. I felt that. They were thinking too much during the game, and that is normal. We start very well, but then we should have more possession with the ball, kept the ball, and sometimes we had the ball in defence, and the rest of the guys were too stuck because they were thinking, where should I be? So this is the first point. When we make a new structure, and you are so clear on that, they need time to have some fluidity in the game, and I felt that. But it's 2 games, and I felt they did okay. What I understood today is they are trying, they are really trying, they stay in the positions, they receive the information, and they try to use it in the game. That is very important. Even in the difficult moments, I felt they were doing the things we wanted them to do." I know it's frustrating for the fans, but we are changing so much in this moment with a lot of games. We are going to suffer for a long period, and we will try to win games. This will take time. We have to win games, but we could lose if it was not for Onana. So I think we have to understand that and think and be pragmatic that these guys had 2 days to train to change so much. They are thinking too much because things are so different. Some details, they used to pass the ball and go forward. Even the centre-backs, now they have to go back. These type of things, they start going forward and they have to think too much. Dalot used to do it, pass the ball to centre-backs, go inside, play as a midfielder, now he has to stick to this position. It's hard for the players in 3 days to cope with everything, but we forget about the new idea. I think that's why I was brought here in the middle of the season, and we try to cope with the things they are used to doing. Next year, in the same stage, we will be here with the same problems. Or we start now, we risk a little bit, we suffer a little bit, and in the next year we will be better at this point, so we have to risk it a little bit. They are thinking too much because we are changing too much with 2 trainings now without space to improve in training. Everybody knows that we have a problem now with the centre-backs, but they are 3 defenders, 2 midfielders, 2 wingers, 2 no.10s and 1 striker. But you change if you play Bruno Fernandes in the same position as Garnacho, it's a completely different game. When we want to listen to a lot of you guys that Manchester United doesn't have a structure, we will have a situation of you see a structure and you will say that, but oh, it's not fluid. This is like steps. We have to put in the heads the structure. When they start thinking about the structure, they will play so much better. But we need time to do that, and during this time we have to manage to win games. That is very important, and I know that. Ruben Amorim insists he is the right man at the right time to take over as the head coach of Manchester United. Amorim, 39, has signed a 2.5-year contract after a successful 4 years with Sporting, whom he guided to 2 Portuguese titles. The Portuguese will take charge of United for the first time away to Ipswich Town in the Premier League on Sunday. And Amorim insists it is not an impossible job to make United champions again, nearly 12 years on from their last championship in 2013. I really don't know the biggest challenge, Amorim admitted. I will find out during these months. You had here different type of coaches, so the guys who won everything, like Van Gaal and Mourinho, you had new ones who knew the club inside out, like Solskjaer, and one of the best that there will ever be outside the 5 strongest leagues was Ten Hag. So I don't know. I think we have to improve as a club. We need time, and every coach that comes here needs time, but acknowledge also we have to win games, so I don't have answers for that. You have different type of coaches, the same result. We will try to do it our way, Ineos way, and my way. Now, of course, it is not an impossible job. I believe that. Call me naive, but I truly believe I am the right guy in the right moment. I could be wrong, but the world still will turn, the sun will rise again. I don't worry about that. I truly believe I'm the right guy for this job. I'm a little bit of a dreamer, and I believe in myself. I also believe in the club. I think we have the same idea, the same mindset, so that can help, but I truly believe in the players also. I know you guys don't believe a lot in these players, but I believe a lot. We have room to improve. I want to try new things. You guys think it's not possible, I think it's possible. We will see in the end. Amorim also stressed he can be fairly judged within his first 2 years whether he is a credible enough coach to make United a force again. I have 2.5 years of contract and you guys talk about that. I think 2 years you can understand if I'm the right manager to go in this process. I think we will need more time because if you look to the other clubs that are winning this league, they are doing this process for a long time, but they are winning. That is why they have time to do this project. I understand that we will need more than 2.5 years. We will have to win something somewhere. But in 2 years, you can understand if you want to continue in this path or you change. We will see how long it will be. I don't know about repair, but like I said, we have space to grow as a team. I think we have to improve in a lot of areas. The understanding of the game, I know it's a different way of playing, and we are changing in the middle of the season. We have to improve the physical aspect of the team. It's something we want to improve, and that's it. I don't know how long it will take. I know when you are in Manchester United, you have to win games. So I will not tell you that I need a lot of time. It's a great league. It's the strongest league in the world, and we have to improve a lot to try to win it. So what I can say is we have to win games to win time and then to win titles.